in the city. I mean, you could have stolen the tires off somebody's car. You could have robbed all the banks. You could have, well, you could have did a whole bunch of stuff, but the leader still saw something in you. I remember, I left church. They called it a lunch break, and I left church. I was mad at the whole church for something I did.
Yeah, and that's something.
And my apostle still loved me. Still loved me.
That's right.
But like I said, here's what it gets good. So they never gave up on Daniel. So as a matter of fact, it was the king that told him that the God you serve shall deliver you out of this. So even Daniel was the one who was praying to God, but the king was the one who didn't really know about God as much as Daniel did. But because of Daniel's belief, the king was encouraged to let Daniel know, the man who knew about God, that God would deliver him out.
Yeah, my God.
So it could be somebody in the street who don't even know God, but if God uses them, they'll have a message for you. I mean, somebody told me this week on my job, and I think I posted it. This man came up to me, and I've known him for like 5 years. He's one of my clients, and he says to me, he said, Thomas, how you doing? Well, what have you done this summer? And I said, I've done absolutely nothing but work and do stuff for church, and I just been home and relaxed when I could. And he doesn't even know what he said, but he says to me, he says, Thomas, I need to tell you something. He says, no matter what you do, make sure you live and not just exist.
Right. Right. Jesus.
And I didn't even catch on to it. I said, well, I said, thank you. I said, thank you. But when I got home, I said, Lord, he said something. And I almost just broke down. Because right now, some of us are we're just here because we want to be here. Or because God placed us here. But God didn't place you here just to sit.
No, He didn't.
There's a reason why you've been placed here. There's a reason why the kings have been placed here. There's a reason why the ministers and the musicians and everybody that's in the church, we've been placed here for a reason. And that's to do something for God.
Right. Yeah.
Whatever your position that you do, do it well. I don't care if you just have to fan the pastor. Fan them well.
That's right.
Get 2 fans.
Yes.
That's right.
So the king stayed up all night fasting and couldn't sleep. I was thinking about what happened to Daniel after they casted him in. And I know I skipped the verse, but they cast him into the fire. Amen. I mean, not the fire. They cast him into the den. I'm sorry. That was just like fire. You know, if you're in a den with a bunch of lions, you might as well be fired.
That's it.
But then early in the morning, the king got up.
Come on. Come on.
And he goes to the den.
Yeah.
Come on, sir.
And he says, is that God able to deliver you from this?
Come on, sir.
And Daniel, now remember, he was cast into a den of lions.
Right.
Anybody watch the Animal Channel in here?
Yes.
I love the Animal Channel.
Lions, with an F at the end, means that there was more than one.
Right.
But there's only one needed to take you out. But there was more than one, and this little scrawny man who prayed 3 times a day on his knees was in a den of lions, in a dark den at that. There was no iPhone then where you could put the camera and the flashlight on. Amen.
Amen.
And the king says, is the God able to deliver you from this? And all of a sudden, the man who was cast in says, O king, live forever. Look at your neighbor and say, neighbor, no matter what the situation is, no matter what the struggle is, no matter what my problem is, no matter what's going on in my marriage, I own this. I own this. When you were down and out, you say, I own this. You stumped the devil in the face and said, devil, I own this. When you were going through all your situations, you said, I own this. When you seemed like nobody could help you, you said, I own this. When you lost your job, you said, I own this. When you didn't have no money, you said, I own this. When you were going through with your girlfriend and with your boo, you said, I own this. When you lost your mind, you said, you know what, it's going to come back to me, I own this. When you got evicted from your apartment, you said, you know what, I'm going to get it back, I own this. Matter of fact, you're going to get something better, I own this. When you called out repo, how about another one came next week, you said, I own this. When you were going through a situation, you know how to make it out, but you said, I own this. You told you how you was going to make it from the next week to the next week, but you said, I own this. Hallelujah. Listen, as long as Aaron and her held up the arms of Moses, the army was going to not win the battle. You have to understand, Moses was getting tired. He was holding the staff, and the battle was long. And the battle was just not one day. It was a couple of days. And as long as if Aaron was on one side, come here, son. If Aaron was one side,
demonstrate, sir.
And let me get closer. Aaron was on one side, her was on one side. And Moses, and I can imagine Moses walking with his staff, and he's tired, and he's tired. And every time the staff went down, the Israelites started losing. But when they held up his arm and they stretched it out, the battle was winning. They were winning the battle. But he didn't give up. What did he say? He said, I own this. Even though Samson was beaten down and they took his eyes out, and he was tied up to a pole, or whatever the thing you call it. You know what I'm talking about. Even in that situation at that moment, he still wasn't going to go down without a fight. He said, God, you know what? I may be beaten down, I may be broken, but if you can just deliver me one more time.
Give me my strength.
See, that's the thing. You have to remember that even when you're down, you have to remember that you're not down because God can still deliver you even in your worst moment. Hallelujah. We're talking about, what is the conference is called? A diamond in the rough, right? Oh, shine bright like a diamond. I'd have made it like a movie. That's going to be your next play. But listen, a diamond is very a unique jewel.
Come on.
There's only one thing that can cut a diamond, and that's a diamond. So either you're going to be a diamond or you're going to be a cubic zirconium. Which one are you going to be?
Which one?
You're going to ask your wife to marry you or your fiance. You don't get no cubic zirconium, man. Listen to me. You don't get no cubic zirconium. You get a diamond. The diamond is we talk about it later, but the diamond is what you need to get. Even though the man was blind from birth, for years he was blind. And I remember my apostle talking about it. He wasn't just, he just wasn't Ray Charles or Stevie Wonder where he walked the earth. He could see for a little bit, and then he got blind. This man was blind from birth. So he figured out, well, I'm just going to wait on God. But what did he say? He said, I own this.
I own this.
And what happened? God delivered him.
Yeah.
We have to understand that we cannot forget